This very unusual came into the shop a few days ago. The customer likens it to a horse-drawn sleigh or cutter. I very much agree with the curves, the lines in this design, right down to the rockers. Something else interesting on it is this 12.5-pound block of steel that mounts under the frame as a counterbalance to the action in this chair. Without it, it goes horribly off balance, but with it on, this rocker just cruises. So let's open it up and see what's inside. In my restoration work, when you see me stray away and use nylon string rather than hemp or flax, this is the reasoning for it. As webbing stretches, it puts a great deal of strain on the strings and they snap away, and it's one of the first failures in a seat. The webbing and spring work is all original in this chair. However, there's been some repairs made in the ties on the seat springs. With this being original springing, I found it peculiar that this seat spring is knotted on the top and bottom where none of the others are. These corner braces weren't part of the original construction. They served very little purpose. The weight of this cast iron balance has been pulling out wood screws, stripping the holes out, so I'm going to switch this over to a metal threaded screw and T-nuts from the back side. When I'm refinishing furniture, I like to use as little sandpaper as possible, but in this case, somebody has left some horrible cross-grain sanding marks both sides, so I'm forced into some aggressive sanding on this piece. These scratches across tiger grain are very unfortunate. These are some serious scratches. I'll start with 120 grit and a hard block and work with it until they vanish. I need to be careful and not go cross grain here. I'm changing from 120 grit paper, going to 180. I'll block sand it with 180, then jump to 220, and then for the final sanding, I'll go by hand with 320 and polish this all out. On these areas that aren't badly scratched, I'll start with 180 grit and get this color all down evenly. There's no excuse for these scratches across the grain. Alright, scratch is gone and surface sanded at 320 grit. I need to clean the excess glue from these holes. Since yesterday was Christmas Day, I didn't come into the shop, so this glue's had a couple days to harden out. It appears that the original finish on this chair was quite dark before somebody sanded it and painted it brown. I've got an aniline dye color that I mixed that I really like. One of the nice things about aniline dye is it blends colors with different species of wood. You can take maple and match it up with walnut, or in this case I've got a rocker that's been replaced with maple against a very highly patterned oak. So I want to add some grain to this wood. I'll start by brushing on a thin coat of oil stain. This takes multiple tries and a lot of patience to get just right. This curve is going to present a particular problem with the graining tool. Long-handled brush is being kind of stubborn also. Yeah, that's on a little bit heavy, it looks like. Like I said, you're going to have more failures with this than successes. Okay, I'll use this graining tool, draw it along and see how it goes. Again, this is going to be a problem area on this curve. Alright, start over. I'm going to try this without the handle. Each time I draw this through, it tends to dry it out a little more, and it actually is helpful. I got my motion a little out of whack on that one. I'll lightly drag my comb through here and feather these out. I allowed the grain to dry and then clear coated it to seal it in so I don't damage it when I'm working on these sides. Again, I'll spread this out rather thin. At this point, I'm going to reverse the tool handle and try to draw that grain the opposite direction. I'll line up the knot and draw it backwards. Let's see if it works. I'll pull the comb in opposing directions along this grain here. Take these this direction. These dark edges are the results of not having a perfectly machined surface to work with, but it still looks a lot better. Not much of this inside rocker will be seen when the chair is finished, but it sure is an improvement. All right, after a few tries, I came up with an acceptable grain pattern. I scuffed down the sealer coat with red Scotch-Brite pads, added 2 more coats of urethane on the chair, and it looks great. It's ready for upholstery.